Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Wednesday, and today on Fiverr Talks, we're asking, what's up with Fiverr's service fees? That's right, today we're tackling the big issues, the hot button topics, service fees, one thing everybody is always asking about both on Twitter and here on YouTube. What can we do about these service fees? Well, we're going to talk about it today. As always, my name is Joel Young. I'll be your host and your guide here on Fiverr Talks for everything Fiverr. Right here on this channel, we talk about tips and tricks on how to be the best possible Fiverr seller and to be a more informed buyer. So if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. And if you like the content you see along the way, be sure to give me a thumbs up. It really helps in the algorithm. All right, so before we can talk about service fees, we first have to talk about Fiverr's pricing model. But make sure that you watch this entire video to the end, because at the end of the video, I'm going to share my tips for how you can handle these service fees, what you can do about them, and how you can help your customers to best understand them and avoid misunderstandings and upset buyers. So, as we talk about these fees, we first need to talk about Fiverr's pricing model as a whole, how it fits into the holistic portion of how Fiverr makes their money. So I'm going to tell you a little bedtime story. How about that? Once upon a time, Fiverr was a platform that only took a 20% commission from all of their sellers. That's right, from the early days, that was Fiverr's pricing model. For every $5 that you made or someone spent on the platform, they would take one and you would keep $4. That's $5, one for them, $4 for you. That's a 20% cut, a 20% commission on every single sale. And that is the model that Fiverr has used for many years to make their money, and they did quite well with it. Then, just a few years ago, without any real explanation, any real announcement, they decided they were going to start charging a service fee on top of the 20% commission. So not only were they going to be taking 20% from sellers, they were also going to be charging a service fee to the buyers, though much smaller than the commission that they're taking from sellers. Still, they're double dipping by taking some from the seller, some from the buyer. You can understand that with a system that was commission only for several years, many years, why it would be upsetting to some sellers when they started charging a service fee on top. And you might be asking yourself, hey, why do you even care? They're charging buyer service fees, not seller service fees. I care because it discourages more people from buying from me. And you should too, because it discourages more people from buying from you. Now, ultimately, is it going to break every single seller that comes and have them abandon their cart and run away from the platform? Probably not. But at the end of the day, it is one more point of friction between a buyer and a sale, between a transaction happening. In fact, I've had buyers come back to me before and say, I'm trying to check out and you're adding a service fee. There's extra fees that you didn't tell me about. All these things, it leads to a lot of frustration, especially since there used to not be a service fee. And now all of a sudden in recent years, there is. I honestly can't tell you exactly when the service fee started. I would guess it was about a year ago, maybe even less, maybe give or take a year, but it was just recently that it just popped up and began adding to things, and it's confused and upset a lot of buyers and even some sellers along the way, and rightfully so. All right, now it's time for today's question of the day. That's right, in every single video here on Fiverr Talks, we ask you, the viewer, a question and ask you to leave us your response in the comments section below so everyone can hear you sound off on today's topic. So, after you've heard just a little bit about Fiverr's pricing model, what do you think of Fiverr's service fees? Are they robbery? Are they fine by you? Or are they somewhere in the middle? Let us know down below, sound off, and tell the world what you think about Fiverr's service fees. All right, and while you're leaving your comments below, we'll get on to the meat of today's video where we talk about what you can actually do about these service fees, because they're such a frustration. There has to be something we can do. And the real answer is, in the end, there's nothing you can do to change the fact that service fees exist. If you're a buyer, however, when you place an order, make sure that it's accurate. Talk to your buyer before starting. Maybe get a custom offer so that you don't have to add onto your project once, twice, 3 times. Every single transaction will kick up a new service fee. And yes, unfortunately, even when your buyers leave you tips, Fiverr charges a service fee on the gratuity that they leave you. Every single transaction has a service fee with it. So if you're a buyer, make sure that you have as few transactions as possible to save on fees. Now, for you sellers, I know that's the Fiverr Talks community. You guys are the ones out there selling, working hard, trying to grow your business. Here's what you can do about these service fees. Like I said before, there's nothing you can do to change them, but what you can do is make your buyers more aware of them. It's your responsibility to make sure they understand everything about the process from A to Z, because if they don't, there's maybe a possibility they could leave you a bad review thinking that part of Fiverr's platform, the service fees, the 3-day autocomplete, the way things work and function, is what they're reviewing in the end, not knowing it's supposed to be just a review of your service. So the better and the more smooth you can make their experience, the better it will be for you in the end. So if somebody comes to you and asks for a quote, if you're quoting them for a project, I would suggest saying, my rate for the project is this, and then Fiverr's going to charge you a small service fee on top of that. Be aware it's coming up. The only people you really have the opportunity to communicate this with are people that contact you via the inbox first, which for me personally is a lot of my customers. Very few of my customers click through the gig page and order. Most of them send me a message, ask for a quote, and if people are doing that for you, explain it when you have the opportunity. That way, when you say a project will cost $50 and they come back and it will actually cost them $53 or $54 with the service fees included, they're not upset with you thinking that you've deceived them or lied to them or hidden fees from them. Just let them know that that is something Fiverr is charging, not something you're charging. And make sure that they know that you get none of that extra money they're being charged. You're not getting that service fee. It's not going into your pocket. It's going to Fiverr. Now, don't make Fiverr out to be the bad guy. It's in bad taste to criticize the platform that's kind of hosting the whole transaction and making it possible, but just simply let them know, hey, that's not something that's for us. That's something Fiverr charges every single buyer. They also take a commission from us, and it doesn't go toward our work for the project. So just know it doesn't change anything for me, and we don't particularly like fees either as sellers. Now, the very last thing you can do about these fees is simply to get used to them. I'm all for making sure that Fiverr hears our voice, communicating with them on social platforms and messages, letting them know that we don't like fees like this. We don't like the double dipping. However you feel, whatever your response to the question of the day was, it's okay to voice that opinion. But at the end of the day, we have to just get on with our lives and actually accept them if we want to have a good relationship with the platform. We can't constantly be embittered about little things like this that do make it a little bit more difficult for us to sell on the platform, because ultimately this is Fiverr's playground. You've heard me say this before. One of the paramount key cornerstones of being a top-rated seller is developing a good relationship with Fiverr as a platform and as a company. And being embittered about service fees and griping about them all the time, throwing out a bunch of negativity and being bitter about it is not going to change anything. It's always our hope that our voice would be heard, but likely Fiverr's going to do what they want to do. So we just have to realize that this is a part of the price of admission, the pay to play if you want to be on the platform. So get used to it. It's probably not the last thing that will change about the way Fiverr's making their money and the model they're employing to charge both buyers and sellers to be on the platform, because at the end of the day, they deserve some money for facilitating all this, and it's really not our job to decide how much is fair and how much is unfair. All right, that'll do it for us today. But if you're new to the channel, be sure you click over here and subscribe. We really want you to be here for all the videos, new videos every Monday and Wednesday, exclusive videos on Patreon every single Friday. And if you want more great content just like this, then choose one of these videos. They're great. All of them are great. Glad to have you here. As always, my name is Joel Young. This is Fiverr Talks. And remember, keep doing, because the future favors the doers.